G'day, it's Bill here from Opticscentral. Today we're doing an unboxing video. This is a Celestron Starsense Explorer LT70AZ. Now the Celestron Starsense Explorer is a pretty new development. It's only been around for a year or so, and it bridges the gap between a manual mount and a computerized go-to mount. Now, with a manual mount, you do everything yourself. You point the mount at whatever star you're trying to look at, and you have to keep on moving it every so often to chase the star. With the computerized go-to, you tell the mount, once it's aligned, you tell the mount where you want to look, and it will move the mount to find whatever you're looking at, and it will continue to track it for you. The Starsense Explorer is a cross between the two. It's what we call a push-to rather than a go-to. Now, it uses your mobile phone to look in a little mirror to read the stars that it's pointing at. So the phone knows where your telescope is pointed. You tell your phone where you want to look, and it will say, okay, from here you've got to go left and up, and it will talk you through finding whatever subject you've programmed into it. Of course, then you have to keep on chasing the star because there's no motors in this. The Celestron Starsense Explorer comes in a range of models. There's some small to medium refractors and reflectors. That's most of the range. But towards the top end of the range, there's a couple of Schmidt-Cassegrains. There's a 6-inch Cassegrain, which is actually quite a large instrument. As to the market, it would suit beginner to intermediate astronomers. And the great thing about the Starsense Explorer is it shows you things you didn't know before. So, I mean, anyone can find the moon and the planets, but if you're interested in finding some more obscure nebulas or even some larger nebulas, you don't exactly know where they are, this will find them for you and show them to you. So it's really good at getting you up that learning curve. This one is, like I said, the LT70AZ small refractor. It's the baby of the bunch. So let's get into unboxing it, shall we? Okay, here we are. We're going to unbox the Celestron Starsense Explorer LT70AZ. I love unboxing stuff. Let's get into it. Okay, the first thing we've got is the documentation. There's always documentation with these things. And with Celestron, the documentation is actually pretty good. They've got lots of easy to follow instructions. This is the quick setup guide, and at the back I think there's also a guide for using the app. Some marketing stuff, product registration. There's a Starsense Explorer app thing. I probably should grade that out. And some additional download for the Starry Night Celestron Starry Night software. Let's have a look at the hardware. We'll start with the tripod, shall we? Oops. Try not to break the box. Here we have the tripod. The tripod goes left to right and up and down, which we'll get to in a minute. This little guy here is the telephone dock, which will be important for when you're actually using the app. Stay there. That goes onto the telescope. Stay. Put that a little bit further around there. I'll build all of this later on. The telescope itself. These are the knobs that go on the side, well, in there. I'll get to those presently. This is the star of the show, presumably. Much packing. Desiccant, do not eat. Don't look at the sun. Okay, there's the telescope. And the final thing in the box, move the box out the way slightly. This is the accessories. Okay. Let's see, we have eyepieces. This is a 10mm eyepiece. Put it there. There's that's a 25mm eyepiece. This is a right angle. Might as well take them out of their boxes. The locking ring for the altitude bar. This is a Barlow. This is a little screwdriver slash nut, and a red dot type finder scope. Okay, I think that's all the parts. We can start getting it together now, shall we? Okay, let's start building it. I've raised the camera angle a little bit. First, we need the leg spreader. This is actually a combination leg brace and accessory tray. So that goes on there, and it spins on. If I get it right. There we go. They say best to stop it where it doesn't. There you go. That'll keep the legs nice and steady. Obviously, you can increase the height of it. I'm not going to do this for the purposes of the camera, but these extend just there. Okay, here's the telescope, the telescope tube itself, and it goes obviously with the brand upwards, and this little arm goes through this little hole there, and enables you to adjust the altitude. Just get that in there. In you go. Now, these axles go inside there, like that, and then we tighten with 3 bolts. There's the ones left and right. I won't tighten them up just yet. And there it is. This is the altitude locking knob, and it goes in there. Now, what this does is adjusts the altitude. Once this is locked like that, you use this guy to move it up and down just gently. That's good for when you're chasing planets as the Earth turns. The azimuth, obviously, you just move like that. Okay, let's see what's next. Let's put on the finder scope, shall we? I'm just going to bring it around here. The finder scope goes on these 2 knobs. I'll just get rid of these. Now, this goes on there, and the nuts go back on. Now, finder scopes are very difficult to adjust. I've written a blog on how to adjust finder scopes, which I'll probably put up here somewhere. But coarsely, they can move around a bit. So you have to sort of organise it so coarsely they're correct, and then you can do fine adjustments with this thing. That's a completely different topic. However, that's the way it goes on. Next thing is just get rid of that, and that, and that. That will go on here. Now, astronomical telescopes generally come bundled with a right angle. Terrestrial telescopes generally come bundled with a 45-degree angle because it's easier to look at things. Particularly if you're up there, it gives you a much better angle. If you're down here, it's easier to get a 45-degree angle. So this is clearly an astronomical telescope. Now, any one of the eyepieces, just unplug there. They're built to go inside there. undo that little thumb screw, and the eyepiece, I always start with the 25. It's always good to start with a wider angle so that you can see what you're looking at. And here's your telescope. It's currently built like a manual telescope would be. If you're itching to go out and look at something in the night sky, you can do it right now. Take it out. You'll need to adjust the finder and look through the 25mm eyepiece. If you want to zoom in, you use the 10mm eyepiece. But yeah, if you want to just get out and have a look at things, now's the time. The next thing I'm going to do is put this phone thingy on. Now, underneath here you'll find a mirror. It's a fairly high quality mirror. The trick to it is to get your phone sits in this little cradle here. You stretch this guy here, and it holds your mobile phone in that pocket, and then you move backwards and forwards. It's like the Celestron's Nexus mobile phone holder. You move it backwards and forwards and up and down, so that your camera gets the best view into that mirror. I can't show you my mobile phone because that's it up there. So it goes on just there, and there's a little dovetail and a couple of locking screws to get it in. So now your phone will be sitting there, looking up at the sky, the same direction as the telescope, and you can then you start getting the app going, and I'll do that in the next section. All right. To install the app, you go to the Google Play or the App Store. That's as normal. You download it in the normal way and install it. But remember, there's a lot of information in its internal database, so be ready for a large download. Now, you launch the app and go through a little help thing. It's a sort of a small tutorial, and you enter the activation code that you find in the card in the telescope box at the end. After that, you won't need to re-enter that code. Okay, now we've got the app on the phone. There it is. You need to calibrate the phone to the telescope. So this is a two-stage process. What you do is the first stage, you need to make sure the camera on the phone is pointed at the center of the mirror. So now you adjust these knobs here to bring that up and click on that, and it says needs alignment. So now I can move the telescope, the phone left and right. You can see there's a bit of obscuring there, and on the other side, so that's about right, and then move those down so we've got a clear view all the way around. Okay, once we've done that, the second part is we use the 25mm eyepiece and point the telescope at something in the distance. You can see that I'm shooting out the window and down across some factories. There's a small aerial that's popping up over the top of that stuff in the distance, so I've found that in the eyepiece. It's in the middle of the field of view of my eyepiece. Now, I can see the same object, but it's very small, but you can pinch and drag. As you can see, there's you might be able to see it, there's the aerial sticking up, so we just move that so that it's right on the crosshairs, and then press done, and we're right. It's ready to locate objects now. Now, from now on, don't bump the phone cradle and don't move the phone, and if the phone rings, you're going to be using hands-free. Okay. Okay, we're back in the backyard now, and what I've done is I've just got the phone in the cradle, and I'll just bring up the app. By the way, I'm not taking video of this so you'll just have to imagine. I'm taking a couple of stills, so you'll have to see the stills. Okay, it's right. It's ready to reserve. You tap the Starsense icon, so I'll hit that now. Right, now, is it still aligned? Yes, it is. That's what we did before. So, now it's mucking around. It's taking a photograph, plate solving, figuring out where it's pointing. And just bear with us for a second. There we go. Oh, can't find it. Oh, that's because I'm looking at a tree. Okay, let's move it. Let's move over there. Okay. Okay, now it's going to have another go. Oh, finding telescope position. Do not. Okay. Okay, it's found one. Right. So it's near the butterfly cluster. Unfortunately, the butterfly cluster is also behind another tree. I've got a lot of trees in my property. So, but let's have a look. I can see the Eta Carina Nebula. So let us go find. Let's see. Eta object name, ETA, it's in the Eta CARINA, search, there we go, Eta Carina. Let's go to the nebula, and oh yes, it's going to tell us a little bit about that. Yeah, okay, that's all very well. Hit the locate button, shall we? And it's up there. So what we do is just move, go up a bit. Oh, I have to unlock the telescope. Up a bit, up a bit, up a bit more. Oh, it's getting close. Oh, I hope I can get that high. All right. Now, once it's close, it will take another photograph and then tell me where to go. Oh, not very far. Let's move it in a little bit and, oh, okay. Notice it's gone green. Now I just look in the telescope and I can see, well, we're in the city. Oh yeah, I can see it. There you go. That's really cool. Okay. Now, what do I want to see next? Oh, this is fun. Oh, right next to it is the, I believe that's the Southern Pleiades. So let's have a look. Let's move it around. Yes, it is called the Southern Pleiades. Just move that way. Oh. Right, I might have to do a bit of fine tuning. Oh, missed it. Oh, there it is. There, green. Now we should be able to look in the telescope and see the Southern Pleiades. And there they are. That's magic. I just have to move the telescope a little bit. There they are. Ah, isn't it fun? Now you notice it's got off just a little bit. It's finding telescope. Yeah, okay, it's just re-centered me. That's fantastic. Okay, I think we've pretty much figured it out. So I'll leave it at that. So look, clear skies and have fun with this thing. It's great fun.